One told us anything, I don't think Yujun's going to be doing a whole lot of playing here in this game unless they can set him up well. But if it gets down to having to pick the Lee Sin, like we saw Raze nearly do there for game 1, then I think that they're probably a bit screwed.
You know, that's a nice way to put it. The predicament of playing against Kingzone in this form.
That is the nice way to put it.
Exactly. This team is currently 9-0 in terms of game scores. They're on the sort of reverse MVP streak, at least of MVP before SK Telecom T1. On the red side here, we do not need to see as much focus on Kongdoo Monster, on Raze in particular. We saw Zach and Jarvan ban against him every time with Yujun in the lineup and go for a different approach. You guys are wondering, we got the confirmation from Joel last week on Discord that it is Yujun and not Yujun, as I first thought. Most people would first think. For English first language people, Yujun for Kongdoo Monster. See if he visits something that isn't the Lee Sin, and if we get to know his champion pool, because for now at least, haven't been able to track down his solo queue account. So it's a bit of a mystery to me.
Well, for now, we're going to see that Braum banned away after Gorilla was able to pull off many an engage. Was doing better engaging with the Braum than Secret was with the Alistar.
It's fair. A lot of big picks open. Kalista was taken by them last game, but we saw already that Kingzone are very happy for Prey to jump on Ezreal. He was probably the most hard done by. Not to pick up the MVP.
Yeah.
Beyond Peanut, and he will gleefully lock in Ezreal, and Peanut gets Ultra Comfort. So, with so many bans towards some tertiary things, we get to see what Yujun will play. It will be the Rengar, but doesn't have a Galio in his back pocket. Instead, has a Zoe. And this draft is thick and fast. We're already through the first round. Zoe for Edge is definitely a pretty intimidating pick, but Jinair were able to hold him down pretty well. They played around the Zoe and tried to magnify the fact that Zoe wants to stay in mid lane, and now you can gank him as well. Malzahar Kha'Zix, a lot of isolated damage has to happen, especially on patch 8.1 with no nerfs in.
Well, with the Zoe, means that we get the Resident Sleeper Malzahar there out of the mid lane for BDD. As we start looking for the second round bans here. So Ornn, then the Jace to come through.
I think with the Kha'Zix in particular, that's why we saw Malzahar. If you remember, last time he was against a Zoe, was rocking the Azir. This time, because they have the Kha'Zix, the high damage jungler, it makes sense for Malzahar to hold that damn Zoe in position. Probably going to be a very early QSS from Edge. Look at the bans, because we are looking for the tank support from Kingzone. They're also opting into banning them, hoping they can take the highest priority. Would be, I imagine, Taric at this point. Really want to have a tank support somewhere. Alistar also available on Ultra Comfort, so 2 available when it comes to tank supports. And Gorilla jumps on one of his career most played in the Alistar.
Yeah, and then we're going to see the Shen coming through, very likely for Secret. And, you know, the lock-in on the Gnar, which this really has been flying by this draft. And that will be the Shen going into the bottom lane, and Gnar up top here for Roach. So
streak is over for Khan. He's already played a champion twice in the Jace, so this time around, thinking about taking the losing end of the matchup, and maybe they can train themselves on what to do when Khan doesn't have lane pressure, because that's not a very often thing they find themselves in. But when they hit best of fives, or when they play against KT Rolster on Wednesday, Khan can't always have the winning side of the matchup. They played one game, the game plan looked very controlled. If you remember, Achilles, the game extended pretty severely because they were playing around specific timings. That was Nidalee in the jungle as well. So Khan on the losing end of a matchup. Late game, we know about his mechanics. There's going to be some sick barrel chains, but in the early game, happy times for Kongdoo Monster.
We've seen a couple GPs manage to find success in this matchup, so maybe Khan can do just that. Roach was holding his own, however, quite well in the Jace versus Ornn matchup there in game 1, so should be all right with this preferable lane assignment here. How is Kongdoo going to operate as a unit with Yujun being added into the team? That is going to be the question. Didn't see much from him. He was pretty invisible in his first game with the Lee Sin. This time around, though, goes for the Rengar, goes for the lore matchup against Peanut.
Against Peanut is kind of the important part of that sentence. He does have a much better laning situation to not find the same fate that Raze fell into, because no Jason to Gnar. There's not as many winning matchups here. Malzahar early is not going to be doing anything. Pre-6. Top lane is going to be a winning matchup for the GP. So Yujun's getting a help out with the draft when it comes to giving him a bit of security. Bot lane, Ezreal, Alistar. So Ultra Comfort, very common duo lane in this week has been the Ezreal and Alistar. But game 2, can Kongdoo Monster stop this from being 10 wins in a row for Kingzone DragonX?
Well, you know, first instinct is going to say no, Baba Smithy, but we'll see if they can surprise us here. They've got the rookie Yujun back into the jungle. Let's see if it makes a difference as we load in for game number 2.
소환사의 협곡에 오시는 것을 환영합니다.
Kongdoo fans holding on there, trying to instill some hope into this roster, into this young player in the jungle. Try to find some success against the scariest team that you could play against. We got some special guests there in the audience as Frog and Gate have come by in the studio to say hello.
And this is a very awesome time to have Frog in here because
Given that Mad Life is on the other
long-time
side.
fans will remember that Azubu Champion Summer 2012 final was Azubu Frost against CLG EU. Frog and Mad Life on opposite sides. CLG EU went up 2-0, reverse swept from there. And it's also Peanut Day, so a lot of fun little celebrations going there. Confirmation Peanut has turned 20 on this day, but really cool to have Frog in here. He's owning it up on Korean Solo Queue, top 10, largely playing the Talia, so definitely tune into his stream and the off times to see him really getting, basically all the Korean pros, obviously, in those high challenger games, and then just the history, the fact that he was here 6 years ago in Korea playing these matches lets you know just how long and how tenured OGN champions into LCK has been.
Oh, really great shift here. Con and Peanut wrapping around, did not get spotted. Had the ward thrown in on the other side of the brush, and now we're going to be looking for the pinch. Gorilla is here as well. Going to go in for the red buff, focusing out onto Yujun. He uses the smite. Comes through. In comes the pulverize. Yujun will go down. First blood over to Khan. Now chasing in, looking for Roach. Isolation damage. The red buff to slow. He is as good as dead, and Peanut is going to claim it. And just like this, Peanut picks up the second one for Kingzone and can just take the blue buff. Everything going well for this squad yet again.
And you can see Gorilla smiling on your screen. He read that situation like a book. Game 1, what did we say? We know where Kingzone want to play, but that information is open to Kongdoo as well. Now the reverse was true, and it's so well read by Kingzone. They do the next level that we couldn't see from Kongdoo Monster in Game 1. Able to follow from here. Peanut hits level 2. He really doesn't want to use his flash, but just gets out of range cruelly. You can see him trying to conserve the flash. He gets the kill. He steals the blue. Ruins the day. Kongdoo Monster for this early game at least. Still going to be farming. Still Yujun going to be competitive in that side as is spotted on a ward top side.
Roach is trying to keep himself safe in that regard. Can still get quite a bit of damage in onto the Gnar, but getting the kill probably a little bit more difficult, even though he still doesn't have the flash. But Peanut just going to go ahead and take away some more jungle camps.
Again, that's what I want teams to realize, is that we talked about the draft, how Kingzone were going to play. Everyone knew that. You can say similar things for what was available to Kongdoo Monster in this game, but because that information's open to both sides, Kingzone just had Gorilla stay topside, come in as Alistair. He didn't have Answer Spellbook to pull off anything. He was just there because they read the situation better. And from there, they get a lead even when, on paper, they should be at their weakest, and that's what the sign of a really great team.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, a lot of people are probably going to say, oh my god, Kongdoo Monster, they're terrible, look at how this happened. But it's honestly just Kingzone being that much better. Yep. It's not that Kongdoo Monster is an abysmal team. They have proven that to us so far in this split, but Kingzone is just a step ahead.
The best teams can next level great teams, and while Kongdoo Monster's not a great team yet, they have not been no-hopers in LCK Spring 2018, so really cool to see adaptations here. Usually an early game stagnant meta on patch 8.1 burst to life in really cool ways. Maybe we'll get an extended interview with Peanut this time.
It could be. Maybe we'll get one of the longest breaks that we've had so far. Great arcane shift there to avoid the Shadow Dash there from Secret. Still got taunted up, but at the distance there to make sure that they were able to trade back heavily onto the bot lane here of Kongdoo Monster.
Imagine they've largely drafted this Shen in response to Alistair for the ultimate onto Yujun, to help the Rengar look for the submarine engages on the top side. So the laning phase is going to be largely even. Not huge lane presence from Alistair or the Shen, but I imagine it's more for plays cross-map, aggressive plays. You don't want to use Shen ultimate from the support role for defensive plays, but we'll see how many options are actually available to Secret by the time he gets his ultimate.
Peanut says thanks very much for the leash there. Let's go ahead and pick up those Raptors. So Yujun trying to go for the invade, trying to be frisky, but still a very dangerous thing to do, to push into the jungle of Peanut by yourself. Roach now getting the transformation, can't seem to hit anything other than the boulder. He's trying to just give Khan as much of a hard time as he possibly can, but you can see Khan here keeping up very nicely as far as the CS is concerned.
When I saw his dance moves there, I must admit I had can't touch this in my head playing. And that's often the way when you try to deal with Khan on most of his signature picks. He has been best performing player this season by a country mile.
Edge trying to go in for a trade here, just jumping around.
Level 6 soon for BDD, but he hasn't been able to clear the minions, so probably a couple of creeps, maybe even just a melee minion away from level 6 himself.
A bit brutal there, taking a lot of damage on the exchange. As BDD just comes out on top of that one. Khan goes back to base, BTPing in as a cull ready to go. So he's going to be in this for the farm fest, basically.
He's just an ultimate, really, for this game. Peanut doesn't want to gank his lane. His ult comes up, he's got 10% CDR now coming through for the Sheen. And then farm. So not going to be a lot of excitement topside unless we can see Yujun make good use of the first thrill of the hunt. Going to be a bit behind given that his camp was taken away, his blue buff, and there's no catch-up experience now that we're on the 8.1 and the 2018 patches. See, about one camp away from 5 himself.
Well, just going to be a slow one after the shenanigans at the start of the game. Kongdoo acknowledging that they can't really go for anything too crazy or too aggressive because they can just fall further behind.
Goal for Kingzone here should be river control, because then you can start having the already snowballed Peanut ganking mid lane and assassinating the Zoe. If you take Zoe's turret first, she finds it so hard to function because she doesn't play side lanes particularly well. Recent Zoes haven't been as fearsome as the ones at the start of the week, as Redemption there. Doesn't even pop the passive there from the Malzahar.
Nope.
Now looking for blue off spawn. We'll hit level 6 from it as well. So 1 full level ahead of Yujun when he completes that camp. And like most supports, and most players in general, we haven't seen free boots from the supports. It has indeed become the Mobies already for Alistair.
Edge should see this going down, but whether or not he actually wants to push in and try to do anything about it, seems like the answer is going to be no, as Peanut just goes ahead and takes away another blue buff.
I wonder if the Voidlings over the wall were just to interrupt a Paddle Star, because I don't think they actually wanted to pass that over to BDD because it would have denied level 6 from Peanut. Very interesting there.
Could be.
When it comes to Kingzone, you tend to give them the benefit of the doubt, but still did help with securing the blue.
Yep. And now securing the red buff is proving to be a bit difficult there as it goes ahead and resets back into the pit. Gorilla just doing his damnedest to be a jerk.
Yeah, boots of mobility, less free boots in general. Boots 2 rushed by Callista, but when we've seen Callista's rush boots 2, it's been Berserker's Greaves. Going for the Ninja Tabi is certainly not as feel good a first purchase. Still obviously going to be very effective against a Fed Kha'Zix and the Gangplank as well.
I would say that it feels pretty terrible.
Does help with the leap duration, but not the amount of leaps because of the attack speed. Leap distance, I guess I should say.
Here comes another one. Sleepy Trouble Mobile does connect, but the stopwatch is there.
They had Redemption for burst as well, so actually would have been enough to force him out of lane if he was hit by the Paddle Star. It's probably smart to use a stopwatch, even if it's not as high impact a stopwatch as we usually see.
Peanut now working his way around the mid lane, but Edge has already pulled back towards the turret, so won't be able to find much, so he can just carry on farming up.
Only one control ward sticking. That is on the right side of the lane from our perspective.
We go ahead, portal jump forward yet again, gets the Sleepy Trouble bubble. Now Yujun jumping in, has him, has the Shen coming in as well, and they just annihilate BDD.
Definitely would have wished he had the stopwatch.
I bet you wish you still had that.
Not a bad use the first time. The second time would have been God tier. Not available, and Kongdoo Monster get Edge going. Unable to do this on his last game on Zoe against Jin Air. Nice to see, and a proactive move from Kongdoo Monster jungler for the first time in this series. And see the replay here.
Look at that.
Timing's perfect. So he uses Redemption to try to pop the passive. Doesn't get it. But then the auto attack into the Trouble Bubble. Beautifully done. Great timing. You'll notice on the bot side, Shen backed away. So in general, great team play from Kongdoo Monster.
Yep.
Gets them their first kill. Apart from those 2 turret kills in the series.
That was when all hope had been lost. So this is certainly going to reinstill some into this squad as they take down BDD.
Not last
Nicely
chapter.
timed submarine.
Zoe's actually rushed the Frost Queen's claim in this game.
Ah,
Probably going to be gone in patch 8.2, but we're still on 8.1, so a couple more days of Relic Shields everywhere, and also GP10 in lanes.
and then maybe we start seeing some new ADCs on the rift. Perhaps Jinx going to make a return. Def to be pretty happy about that one.
Man, I just realized that Kingzone vs KT is patch 8.2 second day as well.
You are right.
Oh, both of
that's
these guys are known for their jinxes. Prey also playing it in the
quite
past.
spicy.
So, yeah, Kingzone vs KT. That's the one you have to circle, guys. Second match on Wednesday. Talk about that at the end of the broadcast. Top side.
Got into the wall there on a con. Yujun does land that second bullet. They get the lockdown here onto the GP. He's going to throw down the barrage. He's trying to clear out the wave. He's trying to juke back. Still has the flash. Jumps to the other side of the turret. Bullet not going to connect this time around. And Roach is going to take a little turret shot there.
Holds onto his stopwatch through all of that as well. If he had stopwatch, it would have allowed reliable damage from Roach in Mini or Mega Gnar. So, had to invest the flash. Doesn't die. Smartly done by Khan. Only force already complete, such as the gold generation on Kleptomancy.
He's just so slippery.
Yep.
Regardless of what champion you put him on. Locking him down has always proved to be a very difficult thing.
And I'm willing to retweet the first person who makes that Can't Touch This music video for Khan.
Just chop his face on top of MC Hammer.
I mean, I don't know. You can put his face anywhere. Khan Champ needs to be an emote also. Such has been his 2018 season.
Well, they don't need to watch the bot lane, OGN.
No, this is boring. Show us Froggen again.
Just take a look at the audience. Jump coming through. Just gonna pop the passive.
Going to be using the W a lot here to try and block paddle stars. Kind of has to do it early, otherwise might just get hit by the AoE anyways. So, fun little interaction there for the Malzahar. But also the security here, now that he has the Twin Shadows effect, the Frost Queen's claim to try and spot out where Kha'Zix is at whenever he feels threat of the Flash Malzahar Nether Grasp. Flash almost off cooldown for BDD. Unseal Spellbook, CDR boots, also will have the Mastery, no doubt. So, a lot of CDR there, 40% on Flash cooldown. His job is pretty simple, but for now it's been frustrating because of the lack of mid-control. Mid-control in Game 1, obviously immense when you have Galio, and also the enemy jungler can't enter his own red side, but mid-control here, much more of a struggle for them to pick up, even with Peanut being accelerated in his build.
Yep. Nothing to be done there in Game 1, but better off this time here. Kingzone still going to be sitting in about a 2,500 gold lead. Just 13 minutes in. So still very much in control. That first Drake as well, going to be waiting for the next one to come up. Seems like it's just going to be a day of clouds and mountains.
Day of counter jungling for Peanut, going back to his roots. Battle warding was invented just to describe his playstyle of getting the face of the enemy jungler, and that's just pure counter jungling this time. Stealing away the red, nice timing, and also forced Soul and Secret to back off the bot side because Malzahar had showed, and of course they intuited that there would also be a Kha'Zix in their jungle, so they have to give up significant turret damage and a demolish proc to Gorilla. Gets the turret very, very low bot side, and Peanut's back.
Yeah, he's going to be looking for the engage. Headbutt Pulverize going in there onto Soul. Pops out the heal. He still has the flash to keep himself alive. Gorilla trying to take him down there with that ignite. Open up in onto the turret. Another shot there onto the Callista as he goes low. Four members here in the bottom lane.
They want to chunk out the bot side and take the turret. That was their big objective, but it's going to be delayed for now.
Can't quite get it. We'll see how long they want to stick around. You can see BDD roaming his way down on the minimap.
And Malzahar showing up should be curtains for this bot lane turret. So around 15 minutes, we're going to see it go down.
Well, TP's coming through from the Zoe. As Edge tries to join in, tries to dissuade Kingzone, and seems like it will work. Yujun is pushing forward here. Edge jumps in, gets some Malefic Visions on the way out, and takes a Mystic Shot as well for his troubles, but all things considered, the turret still stands.
You'll be disgusted to know that was a free teleport as well. He still has his own teleport.
You're right.
Just so he thinks.
Gross.
And teleport back to Milling, so can't even punish in terms of CS. That's a real feels bad.
Gorilla and Prey still playing incredibly far forward here. Know that the Fate's Call is down, so don't have to respect the engage from Kongdoo's bottom lane too much.
He's back. 2 teleports.
Here he is.
Bugcatcher Sneaky should look into that one.
I'm sure he's probably going to find another one.
Well, they just want to get this turret. Again, I said around 15 minutes. Going to pick it up here anyways. No big CS lead this time for Bray, though. Item's going to be online, though. I imagine it's going to be Mana Moon on next back, and we'll start the rotations. Khan is up in CS. Just Khan things. His flash was down, remember?
You know, he's pretty good at League of Legends.
I mean, Roach could have been as big a jerk as he wanted to be. Everyone was bot side except these 2.
I mean, I'm sure Khan also probably has more damage done to Roach's turret compared, as Roach almost has the transformation ready to go. Meganar should be coming through. There's going to be the Shadow Dash. They push him back away. The wallop connects, and he will go down. Great rotation, and Khan just not really respecting the stand united. As Peanut gets hit by a massive paddle star, takes him low. He's got the stopwatch, will stay alive, but now Kongdoo maybe looking for the Rift Herald.
I'm sure Khan feels hard done by. He was about 10 seconds away from Flash being up. It was too far up. Nice submarine play. So far, the Shen ultimates have justified Secret. You know, just losing lane as the way with Shen support, but making the cross-map plays. 2 ults, 2 kills. Good stuff from the side of Kongdoo Monster.
Yeah, Secret's actually pulling off the 2-button engages this time around. But pulverizes were a little bit rougher for him, but there we go. Another Shadow Dash coming through as Gorilla just gets the pop-up, trying to dodge out on the Paddle Star. Headbutt Secret back, BDD wrapping around the side. They get the barrage thrown down as well as Gorilla goes dangerously low, limping his way out to the backside of the fight. Seems like he will stay alive as Secret goes golden. Yujun rather, getting ticked away by those Malefic Visions. Might just go down, comes back in out of the stopwatch in the middle of the fight, and that's going to be Khan picking up the kill, but Roach is chasing in, looking for the finish there onto the GP, back into the river. However, Peanut going low, jumps away with the flash, trying to stay alive, goes back in and takes down the Shen. Khan is still alive, goes golden to dodge out on the boulder, but will get taken down at the end as Bray jumps in with the arcane chip.
He wants all of them.
There you go, finds him, lines him up. Big hit off the Paddle Star as Edge jumps back forward. Peanut
Gorilla's back
trying
somehow
to find him, and Gorilla has actually healed up higher than anybody else on his team as Edge just tries to finish somebody off with the Paddle Stars, but cannot find it. They won't go forward. They can't finish him off. He's got Azonia's waiting anyway, but really scrappy fight there, sending all the way from the Rift Herald back up into the top lane.
I can tell you for a fact that Prey is frustrated he couldn't pick up a triple kill on the back end of all of this. This is some heavy baiting. Consider that at the start of this play, Prey is farming minions in the bot side and gets to walk up all the way out. Gorilla had no life, must have found some honey fruit at the end of all of this. Yujun falls low, Khan goes in for a kill, but you would assume he'd be dead early. It takes forever for him to actually die. More dance moves here, trying to get away from it. We're on the right side, though. Nice flash away. They turned onto Secret, got the kill on the Shen. From there, they rolled on. Prey could not get everything, and Rengar died.
Yep.
I see a Malzahar hold on cooldown, so I can work out what happened.
I like the wrap up there.
Thank you.
But, yeah. It's actually really poor timing by Roach. He transformed right before he can get that third hyper proc on the Khan, and that's why he didn't kill him. And then he had to chase him down.
That is the cleanest inventory I've ever seen on a Gangplank.
He has no components.
Items. How is this possible?
He has just 2
Even
completed items and boots.
is clean.
Khan is all about efficiency.
He is. 3 items, baby.
Oh, dear. I guess we're not going to have a replay on the kill there onto Yuju, and I guess it just doesn't matter. Yujin decided, you know what, it's his 3rd death in this game. Let's just say screw it. Let's not have this happen again, though. This Gorilla is playing with fire with Edge there in the river yet again.
Able to play the map so well. Ultimate's back up on Khan, trying to take top side. This is why you take Gangplank. If you can get through the early levels, you can just farm in the face of the Gnar. Things are happy. Peanut's here, but so's Rengar.
Jukes out onto the first boomerang. We'll get that hyper proc there. Barrage thrown down to slow up Roach, but he's got the stand united, so he wants to push back forward. Just now becoming unexhausted as it seems like Gorilla interrupted the Shen ulti there. Prey trying to go ahead and push them back, keep them contained underneath the turret. We'll be able to do so. Pop Gorilla over the wall for free.
But the greed for kills by Peanut and Khan does deny them what looked to be a very quick turret. This turret seemed like it would go down just with a cannon barrage, but looking for everything, they end up with, you would imagine, the Cloud Drake, but the turret timing going to be delayed. More time bought into the game. It's the Zoe closer to relevance. Very defensive build because of the need to itemize into QSS early. Her damage is going to be delayed That means that Kongdoo Monster want to delay the game to a point. You never want to opt into unlimited game time against a Gangplank, but actually getting items onto their Zoe, who had to build to stop her just being played through in the mid lane, is important for Kongdoo Monster.
I mean, if you can't beat Kingzone, you could at least, you know, elongate their average game time. The minor victories.
You can also play your own game, right? Because they weren't able to do that in game one,
Yeah.
so they're just wanting some stage time against what is obviously one of our great teams here in Korea. So far, much improved for Kongdoo Monster in game 2, even if it's not to the tune of a gold lead. They're actually 5,000 gold behind out of nowhere.
Yep. Closer to 6 now at this point. And down 2 Drakes, but they have the kills. It has been better, as you say. Just can't really tell it by looking at the scoreboard there.
The eye test, unfortunately, is sometimes what you need when you're facing a great team in Korea. Kingzone, smart rotations to the top side. Gangplank almost off cooldown in case they need to turn something around. Gangplank himself finally in a CS hole after being up about 5 minutes ago, but doesn't affect the gold. Things comfortable.
Pushing in, maybe look at the takedown this control ward, but Edge and Yujun are both nearby. He's got BDD here to back him up, so feels safe enough to go ahead and clear that one out.
Don't have too many itemization choices as Yujun, so will be very, very squishy and could be turned on by the Malzahar at any moment. Raw indeed.
Well, 21.5 minutes in. Massive lead here for Kingzone. Basically, perfect control of the map here so far throughout this game yet again.
They got the actual ability for Gangplank to push into the face of Gnar on the bot side as they start pushing up the vision to start the Baron control. For now, Kongdoo Monster do have double control ward on their blue side, which stops the Kazakhs from looking for an assassination, stops the Baron attempt. But if Kingzone get a pick, get the vision down, Baron is as simple as can be to be set up for. So for now, the game will stall. But a single pick, a Malzahar Flash availability. Now he has the acquisition build of Flash and Ghost with his Unsealed Spellbook. A single kill here will be massive dividends for Kingzone. It's probably what's needed to get this game out of a bit of a rut. Ocean Drake spawning's not going to accelerate the pace when that one comes up. So for now, there is mid control for Kongdoo. There is blue side control. And that's what Kingzone need to thwart next if they're going to push their spot in the game. Meanwhile, for Kongdoo Monster, if you're looking from their perspective, they got Morellonomicon. They're about one item away, a Liandry's, let's say, from Edge actually being able to push some true damage into the members of Kingzone. So they're just in delay mode. It's not a satisfying thing to say, but there isn't really many gaps in the vision here from Kingzone for them to exploit. The pick power, if they're not playing through the Zoe, it's pretty limited on the side of Kongdoo Monster, and I don't think the next submarine play will work as well as the first.
Yeah, they're just kind of slowly being ushered to their grave here. Is Kongdoo Monster unless they can get some really crazy, miraculous turnaround.
It's a very macabre thing to say, but yeah, they are being ushered to their graves.
Trying to put it on the nose. Nice hit there, though, by Edge. Let's chunk out Peanut and maybe makes him think twice about invading, but we know Peanut. He's going to go right back in
It's
there.
that moment, though, Akil, as we said, when they lose their control, when they lose
Bubble.
blue side control. They've lost it now, but the chunks, at least, will slow things down for Kingzone.
Not 2 good ones in a row there.
Desperation from Kongdoo Monster to keep control wards in their top side. It's another one denied. Prey just using his for vision.
On yet again, taking a bit of damage there from Roach, but he'll be able to maintain control with that turret. We've been taken down about half HP. So far, Kongdoo have not been able to take a single turret in the game.
So build-wise from now, what I want to see is something that Cuvée wasn't able to do in the loss to Kongdoo Monster for KSV. I think Roach needs to go pretty heavy on damage. I think he needs to have a damage profile against Khan. You know, a lot of people in this case would look at the enemy team and say, well, I probably need a Randuin's at this point for a team fight. To me, the 4-man group of Kongdoo Monster is strong, especially as the game goes on. If they can delay as a 4 and have kill pressure as a 1, as the Gnar, I think they have their greatest option to actually win this game rather than just stall it out and lose to the first Baron that is taken. So we'll see what the decision is from Roach, but the laning build so far is good. I just think he needs to continue on the path of trying to smash the GP.
Well, he's at least got the lead growing here for himself, so that'll be nice, but it's going to come down to those barrel placements in the late game by Khan that can really turn the fight. or cost them as Gorilla takes another trouble bubble. There's the Battlestar. Not as much damage this time around, and he'll be alright with the passive healing coming through. But Kongdoo just doing what they can, trying to stave off as long as possible and deny Kingzone from pushing in. As they look for a hit there on the prey, but Arcane Shift takes him away, keeps him elusive.
And game time with these Gangplank drafts, not having a winning lane for Khan will be slower naturally. For the side of Kingzone, they have to play a respectful style. Finally, they're going to turn on to the Barons. They've cleared enough vision. They feel strong enough to do this. Still no spot vision. Blue Trinket spots it at 6,000 HP.
It does toss that one out. Secret pushing forward, but seems like Kingzone, they're just going to go ahead and peel back away from this. So we'll surrender control for the moment.
Only teleport down. Crucially, it's not Roaches, though. Didn't have to use his.
There's a stun into the wall. Khan going to cleanse that one off, but immediately gets hit with the wallop. Sand United comes through. That's the taunt. Khan flashing away, trying to keep himself alive and in the fight, but the chase there from Roach and from Secret going to be a bit too strong. He will go down. True Shot Barrage will stop by to tickle Roach on the way out, but that's about it. But the rest of Kingzone are looking for redemption. Pushing forward. That's going to be the double polarize from Gorilla. Beautifully done. Secret says, okay, that's how you do that. I'll keep that in mind for next time. And that double kill will go over to Prey.
Oh, beautiful stuff from Kingzone. 2 for 1. Special offer for Kingzone today. They're going to want it to be a 3 for 1 and for Baron to fall as well. The easy objective is Ocean. They've already lost Baron control. 2 for 1, still pretty good.
The buy one, get one. Very nicely done there. Dragon going over a tier 2 turret in the bottom lane. As Gorilla's just sitting there recalling, just being a nice little Essence Flux target to keep those stacks up. Peanut will finish off this Ocean. Kingzone continue to dominate. Another Mountain Drake to round things out before we see an Elder, but might not even make it to that point.
Steric's now complete on Khan to try to turn around another attempt at the Submarine. Submarine got shipwrecked that time. Was doing really well before, but went straight into a wall there. Or cow, depending on what you want to talk about.
That would be a very odd
That's
thing.
some Prey damage,
but yeah, Edge is getting ripped apart by Prey. He's so far ahead now with this Ezreal. Jumps in, you can see even Yujun getting knocked down to about half HP before that heal came through.
Walking up to the Baron. That's the ultimate objective here. Zoe comps against Baron really do fall off hard. Zoe herself still coming from base. We know Baron's been started. So do Kongdoo Monster.
Yep, down to half HP here. Secret pushes forward. Yujun has been chunked out. Gorilla goes forward looking for another hit. Can't quite finish off the Rengar, but you can see the damage coming out, just chunking down even the tankiest members of Kongdoo Monsters. Roach tries to kite his way back. And a barrage comes through. Slows them up as they try to get closer. Edge jumps in with a portal jump, but he just gets annihilated. Peanut finds the kill. Flash forward into the Nethergrass. The polarize for good measure. Goodbye, good night there to Soul. And Kingzone are going to go ahead and split this map right in half as they charge down the mid lane.
You have to be a brave man to try to poke against Malzahar and Baron buff. He tried it. He paid for it with his life. Base going to be broken here for Kingzone DragonX. They might even try to wrap it up.
Yeah, they might just be able to finish this one here pre-30 minutes. Prey's taking up the turret here for the moment, but there we go. They shift it back. Turret Powdered minions moving in. First inhibitor is going to go down. Khan bringing up the top lane as well. Kingzone just looking to take everything here as they still have 12 seconds left on Edge's respawn timer. So at least another outer turret, the last one to fall off the back of that Kingzone Baron.
For this first round robin, we might be hitting a record of most time in 10,000 gold lead by Kingzone DragonX of all time. They've spent so many of those wins massively ahead, just ultra ahead. This time they even draft themselves into a hole. There's no Jace here. There's no counterpick for the side of Kingzone. They go for the scaling choice in the Gangplank. Obliterated first is the Zoe. Tossed away like a troll doll. Down the bot side, Roach trying to chase down Peanut. That's optimistic, but Rengar's coming too.
They're looking for him. Yujun wrapping his way around, but seems like Peanut is going to be fine. You have Gorilla and Khan yet again making their way over.
Ooh, with Secret Agent Alistair, 007.
Yep. Looking for the hit.
He's a pretty conspicuous agent right now.
He is so fast, though. Sprinted his way through there. He is still going. Gorilla's not backing away.
There's something hilarious about a dinosaur and a were-kitty running away from Alistair.
I mean, he's going full bull mode. Seeing red and charging in. Looking for the hit. Takes a little bit of damage there from the Battlestar, but he's still pretty damn tanky.
Initiation summoners here. Aftershocks, so sadly, the unsealed spellbook Alistair, a thing of the past, but it doesn't matter for a game like this.
Well, Roach is getting ripped apart.
He built for lane like I told him to. Shame the laning phase ended straight afterwards.
Too bad. That's been gone for a while now. Oh, just like that turret, that one goes down. Another inhibitor to fall as Kongdoo Monster are just being smothered inside their own base by super creeps and by Baron-empowered minions alike. Zone going to be looking to put that final nail in the coffin as they turn their sights in onto these Nexus turrets. First one already down to about half HP as they just keep poking in, trying to shove the members of Kongdoo Monster back to the fountain as much as they can, just like onto Soul there as he goes low. Roach jumps forward, desperately wanting the Gnar ult, but that's going to be the Nethergrass coming in, and he dies straight up as BDD finds the kill. Nexus exposed, Prey will go forward, finds the kill in onto Soul. Secret will die just to finish off the bot lane, and let's just say, screw it, go ahead straight into the fountain and try to finish them all off. That is going to be game going over. Prey desperately tries to get it in the end. Can't do so. They really want to kill Edge, but they'll say, all right, enough shenanigans. Let's go ahead and finish this one off. The Nexus goes down, and Kingzone, they move to 10 games straight.
Kingzone DragonX on this 10-match winning streak. They need to dive the fountain just to find a rush, just to get their heart rate going. Because the clinical nature of the video games they played today is not in any way a different structure to what they've been doing recently. This has been Kingzone in the last 5 matches, just running over teams again and again, firing on all cylinders faster than we could ever have imagined. The first match against KSV is looking like a thing of the past, and with Khan in the lineup here, they look so fearsome that you have to again get excited about their match against KT Rolster on Wednesday of next week.
I mean, KT, they've got to be having a bit of a nervous sweat watching this macro play from Kingzone. Absolutely gorgeous stuff and a great way to have a birthday go down here for Peanut. Saturday night, finish early, and he'll also get to be a part of the MVP interview here in just a few minutes.
And they're done for the week, so maybe they can even celebrate tonight.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't think you really need a VOD review for this.
No, they saw everything there. There wasn't much to change for Kingzone. I imagine they're going to get some Korean barbecue and have a good time. So Stay tuned to, I'm sure, the Kingzone DragonX Twitter. I'm sure they're going to have some fun photos and celebration. And Peanut smiling again. And to his legions of fans out there that had to endure a torrid time in 2017, he's home.
Yep. And, well, Game 2, definitely a bit more reviewable here for Kongdoo. It wasn't as clean as Game 1, so perhaps they can go back and learn something. But, yeah, I mean, that's about what we expected, and then some from this series.
Again, every team that plays them that isn't KT Rolster and isn't KSV in the second round robin, there's a lot to think about. There's a lot to respect. Even Afrika were blown away by Kingzone DragonX. Such great form. And for Kongdoo, there's a VOD review. There's things to learn, I think, for Yujun and Raze in particular, and how to play around a jungler in Game 1. And in Game 2, to some of the flaws that actually allowed Kingzone to end the game early. This one should have dragged out. This was a 45-minute game. Just packaged in 30-plus minutes because Kingzone DragonX got a little option, took the maximum, and take the 3 points. Take everything down. The Kingzone DragonX, looking at the numbers.
Yet again, Prey just soaring to the top of the charts there with the damage. Not too far behind was Khan, however, with that GP. Had a pretty good run of it into that Gnar matchup. Roach doing his damnedest, but it just wasn't enough.
And Kingzone have fans for a lot of reasons. They are Longzhu, the previous champions, in a different name. They have a lot of players at massive bands, Prey, Gorilla, Peanut especially. But they also just play League of Legends in a way that reminds you can be clean, you can play fast, you can have a smart plan from the draft phase and actually implement it in the early game and not have games stall out. That's where I really enjoy watching them, is that they're smart. There's multi-level plans, they're well enacted. Who's going to pick up the MVP? It's the secret
Gorilla.
agent. 007 has been foiled, but 0011's here on the Alistair. And he was a scary cow, that's for sure.
Didn't take any kills from his team members, didn't die at all. 85% kill participation, that's about as clean as it gets for a support. Gorilla, yet again, looking to become
Level 1, baby.
Here
he
best
comes
in the world.
He's like, well, I got Flash, I've got Ignite, I'm Alistair level 1.
Surprise!
Surprise, Pulverize. That's not a fun duo to deal with.
Nope.
Peanut got 2 kills here, and yet the game didn't accelerate from there. It actually was stalled out.
The grand debate here in the river, absolutely nuts that he managed to walk away and then rejoin the fight.
The honey fruit, I believe, on the screen was what he picked up much later after
More than likely.
some yakety sacks on the escape coming through.
There's a lot of no, the honey fruit, there's only one left.
Oh.
He's just like passively regenerating.
Well, runes and the second wind obviously helped him out a lot.
He's just sitting in the brush as soon as Soul comes close. There you go. Has the stop
Oh,
block.
he got a heal. He got a heal from
okay.
AD carry. That's where he got most of the healing. Then we wondered how. The problem
guy,
solving is now done. This is when they got a 2-for-1 special. They turned it into a Drake and also an inner turret. So I guess it was 4-for-1. That's getting more the King Zone way. Baron was super, super clean. Yujun already chunked out. Nothing he could do.
I mean, that was also just poor timing because Roach TP'd in right as he was getting exhausted and transformed back into Mininar, so really no follow-up from him.
Edge thought he was slippery, but no one's slippery against Malzahar and friends.
I mean, they killed the Zoe during the portal jump without using another grasp, so absolutely bonkers there by King Zone DragonX, but they have the win. They extend it to 10 games in a row now. And it's time for us to hear from our MVPs, Peanut and Gorilla, birthday boy. So Joel, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Joel with your interview translations for the day. We're here at King Zone DragonX, picking up a relatively easy 2-0 victory against Kongdoo Monster. We're going to hear with what the MVPs of this series has to say. So let's meet up with Peanut and Gorilla. King Zone. Just another day for you guys. Another clean win. And it's really a quickie when it comes to how fast you guys close out games in recent times. I mean, it just really goes to translate that, you know, if you have a quick game, it just means you've made minimal mistakes, and that slows down your game. So we're really happy with that. We finished the game pretty quickly. You know, I think not losing is the most important factor here. No matter how we win, we just want to continue on the streak. And it is Peanut's birthday today, and a lot of people celebrating and congratulating the special day. And it seemed like the teammates were trying to get you on a carry roll today, specifically. I think our coaching staff did a wonderful job of preparing today's pick and ban, and we just went with according to plan. Do you have any special plans after tonight? I guess I would. But you know, it's been a weird circumstance that I've never had a LCK day on my birthday ever, and this is my first time, so kind of have to think about what I want to do afterwards. Anything you said to over to Peanut? Yeah, I think with Prey in here, me here on the team, I think we're gonna try to give him a nice celebration for tonight. We'd like to congratulate Peanut once again. You know, Cloud Templar did mention this earlier, but there was a lot of bans going towards the jungle in game 1. It was a situation where, you know, he wanted to ban out possible jungle matches that might have been bad for me, so that was a lot of strength put on the jungle roles for me to do well in game 1. And in King Zone, it's usually the fact that top mid is so talented that, you know, you can ban out most champions, but you still get picks like the Jace left over. I mean, it's just a situation where, you know, all of our teammates are so confident with whatever picks they're left with, and they can still feel confident going forward with whatever picks they're going to be picking. Do you remember a situation where you, the very team-clinching team fight where you made the initiate and with Alistar? This is something that happened to us during practice, and we were on the losing end of things here, so we learned from our mistakes, and hopefully we wanted to do this against another team, and it happened to be Kongdoo this time around. And so I think that the other team that did that to us before during practice gave us a good lesson on how to do it against other teams. Going on to game 2, you did get an MVP worthy performance in that game. And it was a fight in the Baron Pit, and Gorilla wasn't supposed to survive that long seemingly, but you had a very good survivability in that situation. Yeah, we were trying to go for the fight around here, but it seems like I was the only one that wanted to fight in the first place, and I was trying to call my teammates and distract the opponents while I do it. So it was a situation where, you know, we definitely could have lost since we were outnumbered for so long. And you know that Froggen did come to watch the Kingzone game, and you know you're good friends with him as well. How was that situation altogether? I mean, it just goes to show you how long I've been playing this game. You know, Froggen definitely an OG of this scene, and you know, same as me, being around in that scene for a long time, just as he did, and just, you know, really bring back good memories and allows me to track back to what I've been through to get here today. A very clean 2-0 win for here, and KT is going to be the next opponent on the lineup here. Any last words heading to that match? We always consider every match to be of equal importance, but whenever we do go against KT, we never have a single thought that sways away from completely dominating KT, even knowing some of our teammates there, so former. So I'm pretty confident in that one. Any last words to the fans? We thank you for guys for coming out to cheer for us, and we'd like to just continue to give you guys quick games so guys can go home a bit earlier.
We want to go home
That was
too.
the last words coming from Gorilla and also
nice.
Peanut, the MVPs for today's Kingzone DragonX 2-0 victory against Kongdoo Monster. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Joel. But we can't go home yet, Papa Smithy. We still have one more series after this one, but it does mean that we're going to have quite a long break coming up, about an hour-long break before KSV will take to the Rift versus BBQ.
We call it the Kingzone period. It's what happens after a Kingzone game before the second game.
Well, there you go. It's the first time experiencing it for me, but you know, I would have liked a shorter break there, but also getting out earlier at the end of the evening. But
I just
maybe
love
KSV
this
can deliver
team
on that.
for alone bringing down the average game time. We can do it as a region. Let's get it down. No more 44-minute average.
Yeah. So yeah, fortunately, guys, just to reiterate, there will be about an hour-long break before the second match.
Over an hour now, actually.
Yeah, about
Hour and 5 minutes.
So yeah, we do have hard locked start times here, 8 p.m. Korean Standard Time. So the audience knows when they have to arrive and show their tickets to get in, and so everyone knows when the games are going to start. So unfortunately, that does affect us on days like this.
Sure. Just to confirm, because Kingzone DragonX are now +8, doesn't matter what the result is for KT Rolster tomorrow or for any of the other teams, they will finish Week 3 as our Rank 1. Speaking of Rank 1s, the former Rank 1, KSV against BBQ Olivers. So at least we'll be free chicken to tide us over.
That's
but
true.
for BBQ, a tough ask. Kongdoo Monster did it, so it's possible. We had to show you Mad Life.
Show
for a
Mad
moment
Life
there.
again before we cut
But
away.
Mad Life will be back. We'll be back. Let's see if BBQ can really mount any opposition against KSV. KSV were looking aggressive last time.
Yeah.
They saw their VOD review and they said, we're initiating. 4 initiators. We'll get the fight started. Let's see if they go for that again.
All right, we also have to see who's going to be coming out of the out of the jungles on either side here.
Sure.
Is it going to be Ambition? Is it going to be Haru? Are we going to see Bono? Perhaps.
No
way. But we'll see what happens when we do get ready to go into those games an hour from now. So set an alarm if you guys are going to take a nap. So we'll be right here, ready to go into another game of League of Legends. So hope you guys will join us yet again. We'll see you in just a little bit. Words are hard.